Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and Project MGB Supercharger. In the last video you saw me take my car to the rolling road and it sounded like this. Oh yes, and it was fantastic, but there's a few problems with it, and that is mainly all the power and torque is at the top end, and I want to bring that down to the bottom end and make it more progressive and even through the rev range. And to do that, I need to fit a new camshaft. So we're going to get a new camshaft fitted in this episode. That means engine out, fix some oil leaks, and get her back on the road, ready for this track day. Come on guys, let's join me. Come join me, my name's Craig, and I'm exhausted. Right, so before we start, this is the curve from the rolling road. And what I've done is I've overlaid these graphs on top of what I get from VMATSCART webpage on there. And you can see that my power is very similar to what Stuart's getting on his rolling road when he does his, but I'm losing that bottom end bit. So it's that camshaft that's doing that. So we're gonna fix that right here, right now, okay? But brace yourself guys. This is a long video. This took me quite a while to get sorted. A few problems along the way and learning as I go. So get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and watch me struggle, toil. But do I get there in the end? There's only one way to find out. Right guys, she's ready to come out. So just sorting out the hoist. Picked this up yesterday, only £100. So yeah, pretty good. Although at the moment, its reach isn't quite long enough. That's on 1/4 of a tonne, which is just about enough for this engine, with no ancillaries on it, so that's fine. So I've got to take the grill off at the front, get a bit closer. I think that might help. Well, that's all strapped in, so each of these is 250 kilograms, so all nice and taut, sharing the load out. So let's see what we can do. First thing first, got to get the pulley past the steering rack, so I hope that's okay. I found my oil leak. It's all a bit oily in there, isn't it? Now, is it being flung around from the rear main seal, or is that coming from gearbox seal? I've got both anyway, so we'll do both. So this will get done, and the rear end seal will get done as well. Right, guys, this is the next day. So I'm gonna start at the back, work the way to the front, start with the easiest, and progressively get harder on these jobs. So we're gonna do the gearbox seal first, then the rear main seal on the engine, and then the camshaft. And the main reason I'm doing the camshaft last is it's not arrived yet. Hopefully that'll arrive tomorrow. So I've jacked the car up so the oil runs to the back in the gearbox, so it doesn't come out the front. Shouldn't come out much anyway. Also, there's a lay gear as well in there. Apparently they can fall out if it's pointing downwards and forwards. So this will help with that, because they're a bit of a bugger to get back in. So I'm going to get the clutch arm out the way and then unbolt it and then pull it out. Should be quite easy. Undo these bad boys. Should have to pull this out now. Oh yes, here we go. Slide it out slowly. And a bit of oil coming out. Just got the gasket off, and this is really brittle, and yeah, definitely changing that did. Okay, this one. Wow. And then this one, I think. I'm just going to very gently knock this old one out. Yeah, I'm not hitting against any ceiling surface here, guys. So there you go. There's the old one. Use that to knock the new one back in a minute. There's a couple of shims in here. Look. See the shim? I need to try and keep that clean. Come back to that. No more. So that shim's got to go back in. I was going to give this a bit of a wash. Now nice and clean, which is good. Going to make sure these mating surfaces are nice and clean in here, so there's nothing. Going to interrupt the seal. Right, I've just covered that with gearbox oil. Just going to push that in, I think, really carefully. Let's not do that. Then I'm just going to check the mating surface is nice and clean, and then we'll fit it in. Right, and then we'll torque all these down to 20 foot-pounds. Yeah, 20 foot-pounds. Oh, okay, 20. Hang on a minute. Is that 20 foot-pounds or 20 newton-meters? Hang on, let's check. Just double check my newton-meters versus my foot-pounds here, guys. Right, guys, that job's done now. So I've fitted the arm back as well. Put the tabs behind the thrust washer, thrust bearing, whatever it's called. And I mean, the torque on these nuts was only 2.8 newton-meters, 20 foot-pounds. It just felt really too little. So I've done it up to 5. Mechanic torque, feel about right. Not over tight, but yeah, I think it's better at that. Right, guys, now we're going to crack on with this rear main seal. So we've got to get this clutch off first. I've got my clutch tool here, so I'll pop that in. What I want to do is make sure this is at the top dead centre and check 1 and 4, to be honest. So well, let's bang on. Then we're going to mark that up. I know you can put the flywheel on 180 degrees out, so we definitely want it in line, don't we? So I want to be careful of these teeth. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna come out like so. Looking good. I do have a new, well, yeah, new unused clutch plate. So I'll have a look, see if it needs swapping out, see if the other one's any better. But it looks okay if it's not. No, it's too thick. This might be a small screwdriver job. Right, so those studs aren't very deep. Let me show you. These, look, there's not much land to them. You have to be really careful you don't round them off. So it's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to take that socket down, flatten it out so I get full coverage, because it's kind of goes in at an angle. Yeah, so it might give you a better chance. Put that on there. Oh God, it's tight. Okay, yeah, one done. Cool. I can feel it's loose, but it's not coming off. My Lord. Getting there, isn't it, I think? Yeah, hey, gotcha. Right, now we need to undo these tabs again. More tabs. Hopefully this will be easier this time. Doesn't look like this has been, it's a bit wet there, look. So it could have been leaking. A bit oily on the inside, but is that normal? Alright. Right, how do I get this out then? I think I'm coming with a pick, but don't touch that surface or that surface. So you kind of go in with a pick in the middle, pierce it with a pick and then come up. Think, tiny screwdriver in the middle, just to pierce it, like this. There we go, in with the pick. There we go. Oh, gotcha. Nice. So the pick goes into the groove there, look. Nowhere near the outer or inner surface. And you pull it out and then it pisses all everywhere, which is great. That there is pretty chewed up, isn't it? Someone's had to cut that top spigot off because it won't fit. So that's a bit chewed up around there. It's not great, is it? But it is what it is. I'm not doing anything about that because it's been fine. There's no reason to believe why it wouldn't be fine moving forward. Right, so let's get the new seal in before we lose loads more oil. Right, old one. The installation sleeve, and I think I know how to use that, so I'll do that in a minute. New one, bit of a wipe down, nothing on it. And we'll just coat that. Oil like that. Okay. The sleeve helps you get it over that outer part of the crank. So that goes on like that. You slide in. Make sure it's flush all the way around. Boom. It's good. That's it. Don't know if I ordered another one of these. I'm not pretty sure I did, but it's not in the box, so it can go again. But looking like you had a new one. No, I didn't order another one of those, so that's going to go again. Which now I need to figure out the torque balance. Good. Right guys, that is it. We are done for the day. So we've done the front of the gearbox. That's all sorted. I'm going to keep an eye on that, check it doesn't leak over the next few days. And I've just done the rear main seal. That bit of a hiccup there, but I think that's gone in okay. But I can't do any more at the moment because I'm waiting for my camshaft to arrive. I did order a standard camshaft from MGB Hive, but I'm not going to use that. I've just been doing a bit of research. I thought that was the way to go with the Supercharger, but the specific Supercharger camshafts you can get that high lift and the right profile in terms of valve opening times. So I'm going to get one of those. I've ordered a Moss one, and that was recommended to me by a gent called Steve who commented on my tuning video. So cheers Steve for that, thank you. There are other ones as well, APT in the States and Clive Cams in Australia as well. APT, the gent who ran that, he sadly passed away last year. I think they've still got some stock left, but I'm not entirely sure how feasible it is to get one of those in time for the track day. And again, for the Australia one as well, long way you come from Australia to get a cam. So the Moss one's available, express delivery, should arrive in a couple of days, and then we can get this fitted. So leaving the flywheel off at the moment, so I'm just going to flip the engine. So I still won't have an engine stand at that point. Just going to flip the engine so this will be facing down. It will be supported by that, and then I can take the timing gear off the front and lift the cam out that way. Obviously got to take the sump off and get the oil pump out because that's driven by the cam, so we'll get that off, but it's going to be a few days. So I'll see you guys in a few days. Right guys, a few days have gone by, all my bits have arrived, so it's time to get the camshaft out, get that changed. Still got no engine stand, that's still not with me, so got myself a pallet, got a nice dust sheet. This has got a plastic backing, so hopefully that'll keep it nice and clean. Loads of rags, some bags to put some old things in, etc, etc. So first things first, got to get some of the ancillaries off, like exhaust manifold, etc. So let's get those off, and then we'll take this cover off and start looking at this camshaft to get that out. Right, next I need to get these followers out, the push rods out to do that. So, right, so the beauty about this is if you loosen these off, you can slide these rockers along the spring here and then take the rod out. End one you can't, and I don't want to start untensioning these because this is part of the torquing down of the head. So what I'm going to do is loosen off the valves all the way along, and then take the rotor arms out, and then I'll just take these off the end and slide the end ones off. Did not work. I'll take that round. It's loose. And we'll just take that off halfway off, not all the way out, don't need to. Right, can I get you to focus on there? So that's a good rod. See the wear on the end? Doesn't look too bad, but it's okay. Could have been reused. That's a not so good rod. You see it's like nippling on it? Yeah. So these rods are all going in the bin. Ah. Whoa, okay, gently I said. Number 8, I'm literally going to just keep the oil with it. Put the oil in with it. Right. Yeah, there's a not insignificant amount of pitting on there. So that's not going to go again. That is, so that's not going to go again. So I'm not going to bag them. I'm just going to bin them. Well, there's number 1. And then number 4. I'm not sure what's been going on with number 4 because it doesn't. I mean, you expect the wear to be. It's got a circular wear pattern on it, but yeah, I mean, what was that? Is that 2 as well? So yeah, there's some uneven wear going on there, isn't there? Right, let's put these all in the bin. Right, I need to get this distributor drive wheel out, drive gear out. Yeah, come loose. Yes. Right, and that comes off like that. Okay. And this thing should then pop out. Hmm? Yeah, rotation. Yeah, here we go. So that's just a collar that holds in that distributor. What do you call it? I believe it said. Did I put that in? Yeah. Let's put that out. Just going to put out a load of oil, which is fine because we're going to make a right mess in a minute anyway. Right, so the only other thing interacting with the camshaft is the oil pump, which is in the sump. So we've got to get the sump off. Interesting. So I'm just going to roll the engine onto the back plate, and that will actually help me with the insertion of the camshaft in the vertical orientation. So I've got no issue with that. Might be a bit of a mess though, so tissues on standby. So just roll on its back, and then we'll undo the sump. Go from there. I've just got a few pieces of wood so it doesn't sit on the crankshaft. Should be fine. So this goes okay. Oh, right. I'm going to come tumbling now. Okay, not too bad. Right, oil pump next. The oil pump's driven again by the camshaft, so that's going to come out. There we go. You can see the wheel there, look. So rotate it and pull it. Yeah, rotate it and pull it. Yes. Yes. Rotate and pull. Okay, same as before. Right. That looks really good. So I'm happy with that. So everything that's interacting with the camshaft has now been taken off, which is great. So now we can take this off, can't we? So let's get that off first. There we go. Straight out. Boom. Got a new oil seal to go on there. Right, put that off. Carefully. There she is. Duplex. What the hell is that there? Something springy. What the hell is that? Any ideas what that might be? Oh, it's out of the seal, isn't it? Seal's gone. That's just popped. Might have just come out, I guess, but looked like it was sat there, so probably not. Just going to make sure this is the top dead centre. So I'm going to pop this lined up. Right, top dead centre lined up. And then you draw a straight edge between the middle of that and the middle of that. And these should align. Now, interestingly, when I was with Peter, he said that it looked as though my cam was 5 degrees retarded. Yeah, that one looks a little bit like it's rotated that way, which I thought was advanced. Should we take it out and see if there's a keyway in there? Because the simplex chains had a slight offset. I think it was advanced to give a better lower end driving performance when the smog emissions came in. But the duplex chains are 0 degrees. There's no offset on the chain. So I just need to see if there's a Woodruff key with an offset here, because it's not a vernier cam pulley. So it's set by the Woodruff key. So I need to just try and sort out this tensioner. Yeah, done. Gotcha. Okay. Great, yep. There's a few shims underneath this one, so you have to be careful. Right. That's out. You can check your chain, see how flexible it is, and does it turn on itself. That seems quite good. Right, so I've just got the nut back on. I should be able to just gently make sure that's nuts on. Miss that feeling, you know. Lift it out gently. Got to scratch the bearing, you see. Gently. And we're out. Brilliant. So you can, I mean, number 1 was the worst. It's not too bad, does it? You can't really zoom on it, can you? Maybe I'll show you this afterwards, but number 2 is the bearing. 3. Okay. Looks okay. Doesn't look too bad. You look down there, guys. That is offset. That way. That way. Ever so slightly. So yeah, that's got a offset key in it. So I'm assuming that's a 6. So pop that out. Some keeping set. So this is a Supercharger camshaft from Moss. There's a few different options. It's got a lower overlap and higher lift. Now it's not got a longer duration as some of the other camshafts I was looking at, like a what do you call it? Clyde camshaft from Australia, or an APT camshaft from the States. But what I could get in the time I've got, and from some of the reviews, it's reviewed quite well. So I'm going to give it a go. Shorter overlap, and I'll go into why that's a good thing at some point. But for now, just need to get it installed. So I'm going to give it a bit of a degrease on the lobes, etc. So now we've got to do a couple of things. One, got to put my lobe paste on the lobes so we can get the camshaft lobes to bed into the followers. And for that, I've got this graphogen assembly compound that one of my friends recommended to me. So thank you, Chris, for recommending this. And also I've got this ultra slick engine assembly lube that's going to go on the bearings. Okay, so right, so I've got the ultra slick on the bearings, which is great, and then we've got the graphogen on each of the lobes. I've also put some ultra slick on there and that lobe as well. So let's gently put this in. Look back on the top again. It's very gently now. Very gently. Lower it in. She's home. Yes. Right then, guys, I'm back. It's the next day and I've had a bit of a clean up. So I've cleaned all these mating surfaces, ready to build this back up. And apologies for the audio in the previous section. I had my microphones the wrong way around, so not brilliant, but you know. Right, we're going to crack on and fit everything now and build it all back up, haven't we? So I'm just going to check that with a straight edge. Then we've got a new locking tab here. Okay, good. Just go round a couple of times. just feel the end float in that. So that's good. Right, I have to prep the gasket. So we're going to put a bit of the sealing requirement on it. So obviously oil in this case. Right, then we're going to put some gasket sealant on. Then we'll pop this on here. Right guys, now we're going to put the oil pump back on. There we are. Right then guys, now we're going to get the sump on, okay? Oof, there we are. Right, so now we need to do cam followers. So I've got a nice clean rag. I need my ultra slick, obviously Graphogen on the cam surface, ultra slick on the outside. We'll just do that. He's in and rotating nicely. Good. One done. 2, 3, difficult. 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Right, they're all in. All 8 of those. All turning nicely. Just checking number 1 because that was difficult to get out. Yeah, that's rotating nicely in there. Good. Right, push rods. So, take a little slip on the bottom. Okay, cool. So, they all need to be set, but for now, put a bit of running oil in each one. Right guys, that was Saturday. You just saw me putting in distributor drive and those followers. After that, it all got a bit reversal of what I did previously. So the engine went back in. I managed to get that in Saturday night, and then I've been slowly rebuilding it over the working week. It's now Thursday. Got a few more things to do, and then we'll go for a start, I'm hoping, and get that cam bedded in. I made a few changes here and there. I've moved the fuel filter to the back of the car. That's a safety feature. If there's a fire under the engine bay, the fuel filters are plastic and they would melt and add to the flames. So I've moved that, so it feels good. And I've made some modifications to the radiator. I'll show you those. I've got to get that radiator in, get the oil in, and I think we're good to go. So let's get it done. Oil in. So oil-wise, Miller's running in oil. So that's a 30 weight. So this is going to go in for the first 100 miles. And then I've got some more to put in for another few 100 miles before we change it to proper classic Miller's oil. Right, let's get this in, 4.3 litres or something like that, and then we're going to try and prime the oil pump. So once we do start turning it over on the starter motor without the plugs in, we can build a bit of oil pressure before we go for a start. Right, so the way we prime the oil pump is by putting it into this oil cooler line at the back of the engine. This is a direct line to the oil pump. So I've got a syringe full of oil. Let's put this underneath, catch on the residue. So that'll go in there. Slowly inject that in until it comes out. And then, I know the line's pretty full, and then what we do then is rotate the engine backwards. So then it should suck this in, I hope. Yeah, you can see it going down when you rotate the engine. Right, we'll call that primed. I'll do for my money. Right, just going to show you my radiator. Bloody rain started, hasn't it? Nightmare. So this is on the back of the radiator. So now I've got 2 fans on the back, 2 9-inch fans on the back. So they're going to pull the air in, which is more efficient. I've had to trim the edges of the radiator to get them to fit. You can see it more there, look, trimmed. And then just trimming on the fan as well to get them to mate up. So they're joined together and then held in with these brackets on the side. So, and I've just wired it up. So let's get that in there. Well, the rain's just come, so this might have to wait. Right guys, so the radiator's in. So rain stopped play last night, so it's the next day. So I managed to get this fitted in the garage last night. Those new fans fit down there quite nicely. They're all wired in down here, which is great. Oil's topped up, oil's at the max. Now I need to try and turn it over without the spark plugs in and get it to show some oil pressure. So let's get that done. So this is going to be in like 20-second bursts, so well, mid 30 seconds we'll go. And then we'll give the starter motor a break. No sign there, but it's quite a lot of oil to quite a lot of oil to come up here into the cooler back into here. So the oil was on max, so I should be able to pump that around. I did prime it as you saw, so hopefully it won't take too long. And try again. Let's try again. Number 3. Oh yes, here we go. Yes. Fantastic. I want to get up to about 20, 25. About half of normal is what we need. Right, I think we're ready for a start. So spark plugs are in, coolant's done. It's good to go, give it a start. So the running in procedure is 20 minutes at 2000 RPM. Bit of varying along the way, but that's what we've got to get to. Now I've got the 2 fans in, so I'm hoping it keeps itself cool, because if it gets too hot and overheats, I'll have to turn it off. I'll have to restart, but let's just keep an eye on it. Good oil pressure, which is good. Still very cold. Done. Right, so we've done the running in. Success. That went really well. Temperature wise, you saw that on the gauge, that stayed quite nice, so that's really cool. So happy with that, and this radiator's gone really well. But I do have a major problem. After the running in period, it had oil everywhere. It piddled all over the floor, and there was a big puddle about this big, and you could literally see it dribbling out. So I've been back and looked at where I think I might have gone, jacked it up, and it looks like it's coming from the sump gasket. So looked at the torque values of that. That's 8 Newton meters on that torque. So I've done some Google searching, and people are saying more like 17 to 20. So I'm going to torque those up, and hopefully that will help sort it out. But the material of the sump itself is quite thin, so you have to be careful not to deform it. So I think that's why it's quite low. So we'll go gentle and increase that torque on there, and hopefully that will sort out the oil leaks. I could really do without having to take it off and put a new gasket in and seal it and all that stuff. Can be done while the engine's in, but it's a bit of a bugger. You see when it's coming from up in that, you can't really see the start. Up in that gap up there, so I have to nip those corner ones back up a bit more. Right guys, fast forward a few days and she's partially back apart again, so we're not quite there. So after I did that running, I took her for a quick drive. It was dark, so I didn't take you guys along with me, but it didn't feel right. It didn't sound right. And then I started thinking a bit like about this Woodruff key. Why was this Woodruff key in, and why did it have 6 in it? It looked like it was rotated clockwise, which would mean the lobes arrived earlier, which was an advance. So, but why was that done? So, but I didn't set the timing on this when I put it in. I just put it in dot to dot, assuming it would be 0-0 timing and it would be spot on the 111 degrees that the cam requires. So I went back to have a look, and this is what I've found. Right, so what I've been doing is a normal into the top of the cam, out of the top of the cam method. The requirements on the cam are 111 degrees, and I'm getting a few different readings, but 101.5, 102 degrees. So, and if you know your MGB pulleys, cam pulleys, you know there's 40 teeth on here. 360 degrees divided by 40 is 9. So it's 9 degrees a tooth. 101.5, 102 plus 9 is 110.5, 111, which is exactly what this cam requires. So I think I'm 1 tooth out on this pulley now. I did align it dot to dot, but I don't know, did I get it wrong? All right, so don't drop anything, don't lose the teeth combination. So this is my printed wheel. It's getting a bit rough around the middle, but this is really good actually. I'll drop the link in where I get this from, but you go online, you put in your cam details, and it puts all the details on here in terms of closing, opening, and lobe centers, which is fantastic, and you can change the different sizes of it, so it's really good, really useful. So let's just use this as a marker. I'm coming in about 102 there, so because it's going clockwise, it's advanced, isn't it? It's ahead of where it needs to be, so I need to bring it back so it arrives at 111. So I'm going anti-clockwise, just slowly go around a tooth like that. Right, then we're going to slide this back on. So release that tensioner. Right, I didn't record it, but that didn't work. So what that did was it moved it 18 degrees. So yeah, too far. So the vernier, I've got my vernier pulley now, that's arrived. So moving that one tooth, I thought it was going to move it 9 degrees, but moved it 18. Must be something to do with the ratio of 2 to 1 between the cam and the crank pulley. So c'est la vie. Right, but we move on. So I have got myself a vernier pulley. So I've just taken off the old one, marked up where it was. I rotated the pulley back to where I started. This has the variability in here, enabled me to do that. Right guys, you're not going to be able to see this, but I've set top dead centre. Now we're going to do the lobe centres on here. 86 plus 116 equals 202 divided by 2, 101. So I need to put this at 101, which will be the top of the lobe, and then I need to move the dial. Okay, so let's put it at 101. 101. That's the lobe centre. Now I need to undo that. Oh, without touching anything, undo it. That's loose. And now I need to rotate this to 111. Right, so it's all back together now, guys. I managed to get that set up. I've retimed the distributor. So we're going to give it a start and then see how it's ticking over, and then hopefully take it for a drive. It's a bit wet and cold, so I might go for a drive in the morning, but let's give it a start. Anyway, I want to see if that oil leak's been fixed. That does not sound good. Whoa. That does not sound good. I'm not sure what's happened. Turn it up with no spark plugs in. What? That sounds a lot better this time. I think it was the starter motor. I think there's something wrong with that pinion gear that's throwing it in and out. Might need a new starter motor, I think. Right guys, this is it. It's the day before the track day and she's not going to go on track. So that's the long and short of it. It's been a hell of a week fixing oil leaks and getting timing right and stuff. I think I've got it done, hoping to get to the track in the car, and then I'm hiring a car whilst I'm there. But this is the first time I've been out in it since I changed the timing and fixed some oil leaks. So we're going to go for a quick spin and see how it feels. If she's feeling okay, I'll take it. If not, I'll just take another car. Okay. Well, still bogging down. So is it timing that's bogging it down? I put some richer pump jets in it. Okay, we're up to temperature. So still bogging down under hard acceleration, still need to fix that. Feels better than it did the other day. Getting the boost coming on. It's a lot more progressive in terms of the power delivery now. Feels as though if I go down to, bearing in mind it was 3,500 RPM before, when you could feel the boost kick in. Let's just slow it down a little bit here. Let's get myself down to 2,000. If I slowly build from there, I'm watching the gauge and the boost is coming. Hear the supercharger wind up. Boost. I can see the boost a lot earlier and it's feeling a lot smoother as it's coming in. It's boosting more progressively. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Now, it's clear I've still got loads of work to do on that progression bit. The timing somewhere is not quite right. lot better. That boost is just there. It's helping me along all the time. Fantastic. Good stuff, Craig. Feels like I need to get back to the rolling road now though, team, to really make use of that supercharger. That's it, folks, I'm done. This video is done. What a long video. Thank you for sticking it out. I've got there, I've timed that cam properly, I've fitted that, and I'm hoping I've stopped the oil leak, so I'm gonna have a quick look now. So let's not drag it out any longer. Thank you for joining me. If you've made it this far, it's been a marathon, and it's been weeks in the making on my part. So thank you for that. And if you've not done so already, please hit like and subscribe. That'll really help me out, okay? You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.